my people, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S is live in court today, being September 26, 2025. Guys, all eyes turned once again to the Federal High Court in Abuja, where the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, appeared before Justice James OMOTOSHO. Guys, guess what? The hearing had been highly anticipated, with many expecting a decisive ruling on Kanu's no-case submission. However, what unfolded in the courtroom took a different tone, underscoring the growing concerns about his health and welfare in detention. Guys, we're expecting that Justice James OMOTOSHO is going to rule on the no-case submission. But guess what? Today's court section focused on his health issue. According to Justice James OMOTOSHO, he said, he had to, leave his vacation because of Kanu's health that is deteriorating. So he had to leave his vacation just for Kanu to appear in court today. Guys, instead of proceeding with the no-case application, today's session focused on a pending motion concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's deteriorating health. Justice OMOTOSHO, who interrupted his judicial residence to attend to this matter, openly expressed concerns, even addressing Kanu as my brother, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. These unusual remarks from the bench highlighted the seriousness of the situation and the level of empathy surrounding Kanu's condition. Guys, take a look at this video, when Kanu arrived court today. Take a look and I'll be right back.
You're taking this one.
How are you? Good to see you. I got a number. It is well. It is well. Bless you, brother. Bless you. That's a quick picture. I make a little for standing. Blood is thicker than water. So God bless you.
So guys, that was the moment Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Onyendu arrived court today. So this is exactly what happened in court today. I'm about to tell you guys. So the defense counsel, senior advocate of Nigeria, Onyinyechi Ikpeazu, was granted the opportunity to present oral argument regarding Kanu's health application. He pressed for immediate medical attention and consideration for Kanu's release on health grounds, stressing that his client's well-being must not be compromised while in detention. And inside and outside the courtroom, tension was palpable. Supporters were and activists and also observers described the atmosphere as charged with emotion, filled with anticipation, and echoing calls for justice and unconditional freedom. For many of them, today's focus on health reaffirmed their fears that Kanu's continued detention under the DSS is worsening his medical condition, raising serious human rights concerns. Guys, as of now, there's no final ruling yet. There's no final ruling on the health application that has been delivered. The judge, however, made it clear that the matter would receive urgent attention. This means that the no-case submission, which could potentially strike out all charges against Kanu, remains pending for now. My people, it is clear that they are just joking with Kanu's case. You guys know that they said they shifted the October 10th ruling to today, which is 26 September. So why is it that the judge doesn't want to rule on the no-case submission? Guys, okay, so this latest development feeds into the broader narrative that has trailed Kanu's trial for years, one marked by international attention, allegations of state persecution, and the clamor for self-determination by millions of his followers. Observers argue that today's court proceedings may signal a shift not only in his legal strategy but also in judicial perception. If health becomes the central issue, it could open a pathway for bail or conditional release even before the substantive case is decided. As of the moment, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains in custody with his health at the heart of the global battle. Supporters continue to watch closely, hoping for justice and for his freedom, while critics of the process insist that the rule of law and human dignity must not be compromised. Guys, we will keep following this story as it unfolds. Guys, it is very important to note that Justice James OMOTOSHO was originally scheduled to rule on Kanu's no-case submission. The legal application filed by his defense team argues that the federal government has failed to establish any credible evidence linking him to terrorism charges. A ruling in favor of Kanu could have meant a total collapse of the case and possibly his outright release. That was the expectation of many followers, legal observers, and even international watchdogs. However, with today's emphasis shifting to health concern, that crucial ruling has now been put on hold. Guys, it is pending. Guys, this unexpected shift has raised new questions. Nigerians are asking, was the health issue deliberately prioritized to delay the no-case ruling, or did the court genuinely deem his condition so urgent that he must come before all else? Guys, either way, the truth is, this has introduced another layer of complicity to a case that has dragged on for years with repeated adjournments, appeals, and shifting timelines. For supporters who had gathered with hopes of hearing that the charges would be struck out, today's proceedings were a bitter reminder of the uncertainty that continues to define this case. Many believe the government is deliberately, using delay tactics, while others see the courts as caught in a delicate balancing act between upholding justice and managing political sensitivities. Guys, what remains clear is that, the no-case submission is still pending, and Justice OMOTOSHO will eventually have to give a ruling on it. That decision could determine whether Kanu regains his freedom or continues to face trial under conditions that many describe as both inhuman and political motivated. Until then, the focus has shifted temporarily to his health. But the central legal question is whether the state truly has a case against him still hangs in the balance. Guys, from everything that happened today, it's clear that justice in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case keeps being delayed. And in law, justice delayed is justice denied. The no-case submission is central because if the federal government really has no strong evidence, then Kanu should not continue to languish in DSS custody. Postponing that ruling while shifting focus to his health feels like a tactical delay, a way of avoiding the bigger question: does the government actually have a case? That's the bigger question. Guys, on the other hand, health is not something to joke with. Even prisoners serving valid sentences are entitled to medical care. So it is disturbing that someone still presumed innocent until proven guilty is battling declining health in detention. Justice OMOTOSHO acknowledging Kanu as my brother was humanizing, but sympathy is not enough. What matters is action through the law. Addressing the health issue urgently by granting him medical access or conditional bail, is the fairest path. That's what they're supposed to do. And then immediately deliver the ruling on the no-case submission, so Nigerians and the world know if this trial is legally justified or simply politically motivated. This is the right thing they are supposed to do. Yes, because right now it looks less like a trial, more like a slow punishment without conviction. It looks less like a trial. It's looking like a punishment or something without conviction. So guys, let's be honest here. This whole development feels like justice being dragged out unnecessarily. The no-case submission is the heart of this matter. And if the federal government truly has no credible evidence, then why keep postponing? Justice OMOTOSHO was expected to rule today on the no-case submission, and many Nigerians were waiting to hear a final pronouncement, guys. But once again, it has been shifted. By continuing to delay, it begins to look less like a trial or a fair trial and more like punishment without conviction. And that undermines both justice system and the government's credibility. If the court really wants to be remembered for fairness, it should do two things quickly. That is, grant him proper medical care or even bail him on health grounds. and more importantly, deliver that no case submission or that no case ruling, so that Nigerians and the world will know whether this case still has any legal merit. Because justice is not just about process, it's also about timing. And right now, that timing feels too slow, almost deliberate. Guys, at this point, it is clear that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S trial is no longer just about him as a person. It's about what kind of justice system Nigeria truly has. Will the court stand boldly and decide cases on merit, or would delays and technicalities continue to weaken public confidence? For many Nigerians, this case has become a symbol of how the state treats dissent, how judiciary balances independence with political pressure, and whether ordinary citizens can still believe in justice. The world is watching for sure, and history will record how this moment is handled. Will Justice James OMOTOSHO deliver a fair and timely ruling on the no case submission, or will it be pushed further into uncertainty? Only time will tell. But one thing remains undeniable: justice delayed is justice denied. And if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S health continues to deteriorate while ruling are postponed, guys, then this trial risks being remembered not for justice but for injustice. So guys, let me know your thoughts under the comment section. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like and share this video. Thank you for watching.